Position 2. Hey, Mom. I finally remembered. I'm going to do it. Now, do just this guy. Wasn't that boring? See, Mom, I have this thing called a paint party coming up. Oh, thank you for subscribing, good Mom. I have this thing called a paint party, and I have in a bag back here somewhere almost 200 sets of dice, I think, and a whole big giant bag of D20s. So I got some help, or I would be doing the same thing you were. There's something I wanted to do. I look like AI right there, Jesus. I look fucking, there we go. Go map. One property's right there, and 3 over here. Okay, that's actually interesting. What is the 3 properties over here? And just 260K right in the middle of middle of nowhere. Okay, well, it tells me those aren't real. This is probably that property. This it. Hey, Apris. Oh, what is this? 250. Yep, I think that's it. Tony. Yep. Over here. So, that property that I keep passing by, that's for sale up there, Apris, the one that I pointed out to you. That's a $600,000 piece of property. You got me a little bit of paint. Well, you do know the paints that I use, so makes sense. Well, I can always use paint, so never a bad thing to have more. Julie SC right here, yep. Travel down right there, yep. That's a $600,000 piece of property. I remembered. That property is expensive. Now, with that $600,000 price tag, I believe that it is that whole entire plot, though. That garage on the side and the almost a house right there. So, anyways, even if I wanted to, I'd be priced out. There's no way I can afford any $600,000 property for anything. Well, we do have the paint night coming up, so you could always have used more paint. Oh, anyways. Yes, Mom, that's several $1,000s a month. As a matter of fact, why don't we go with a mortgage? Mortgage calculator. So, if we do the impossible, let's go to here. Let's go to home value of $60,000. And then a down payment of 10%. An interest rate of 6.89. 30 years, property tax, blah, 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 blah. Calculate. So... Jesus fucking Christ. So at a 6% APR, your mortgage payment is $4,185 a month. That is 2 times the amount. Almost, yeah. That's more than 2 times. Oh, yeah, no. 3 times. That's 3 times the amount of my mortgage payment right now. And this number right here is probably the most shocking out of the whole fucking thing. After the total payments of 360 payments, you're paying $1.4 million. Which means you're adding an extra $800,000 to this property. Look, if I was pulling in even $10,000 a month, I wouldn't be doing this. Yeah. I bet that if I had a really great convention every single month, I could do this. Really great convention translating to $10,000 or more in sales. I do not have that. I do not have that. Actually, hold on a second. So out of all of the conventions that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 conventions that net me over $10,000 in sales. That's not true anymore, Mom. That's true when we had a functioning economy. Now it's up to 50%. That there are people who are on normal spending more than 50% or more on their house. Yeah, I don't have the conventions for that. Now, to be fair, 1, 2, 3 of those conventions net me to almost at least twice as much. So that's 5 plus 4, that's 9, maybe 10. Unlock me. Position 2. But we would be in a different situation because, well, what we could probably do is purchase the piece of land and split it into a second piece. That garage place we could label for $200,000, and the house piece we could label it for $400,000. Sell off the $400,000 part, pay off that loan, and then have a $200,000 mortgage on just the workshop part of it. So that could work, but boy. I don't want to go through all that effort. I ain't going through all that effort. You know, I think that would be a really good video idea, honestly. Like, just looking at the commercial values of property out here in Sacramento. Like, I've been running a business for like 5 years now. And there is no fucking way, even with the growth that I've seen, there's no way that I would even be able to afford any property out here. If I was bigger, hey Kelfer, then that would be a thing that maybe I would think about, because with our mortgage, you know, we're paying like a little less than $1,400. So adding it onto that, we would only be spending a little less than $6,000 a month. So $6,000 a month just on on like mortgage commercial payments, which is actually quite doable if you had a good stream of income. But then you would have to pay taxes and mortgage insurance and utilities and stuff like that. So that probably go up to $7,000. $7,000 a month. If you're making $10,000 a month, I think you could do that. But that's $10,000 a month after business expenses. And I'm just not doing that. I wish I was doing that. But I don't have $10,000 after business expenses. And then, I would feel morally obligated seeing that last number of paying $800,000 more than on a $600,000 piece of property. I would feel morally obligated to put every single cent I had extra right into that mortgage as principal payment, so that I would never pay that much money for a property. But I just wanted to see what that building was, because it went up for sale and it's really close by, and I was thinking recently about how, not recently, since I have the workshop, that I would love to have my own workshop that I would own the property for. Well, unless something miraculous happens over the next couple years, that ain't gonna happen. I'd have to get really lucky, like we did with the house, for me to think that it would work. So, with our house, the guy we were renting from decided he wanted to leave the country, and he wanted to do it as soon as possible. So he sold us the house for basically cost, for market value of that time, which was below, well, but what he considered cost at the time, which is definitely below market value for that house. And then we bought it because we were like, why not? Why wouldn't we do that? So now I have to go find somebody who's trying to get out of the business and wants to get out of the business now and is willing to sell at a price that really just moves it at that moment. But the chances of that happening, I mean, we got a once-in-a-lifetime deal for our house. And I'm never letting that property go. Yes, that would be the next solution to that problem, is not sell it but rent it out. And you absolutely could. Again, there are two buildings on that property. There's like a workshop garage, like a chop shop sort of situation, and then there on the other end of the property, which isn't very big, there's like a house/workshop there. So it's very possible that you could rent out the other half of that property. But I don't know. I didn't want to become a landlord in my lifetime. So and then have to deal with all like the landlordy things too. Ooh. That was only a little bit. Yeah, it's just too much. If you don't like, if you don't either A, become a slumlord, or B, sell or not, or lease the landlording ability to somebody else who is basically a slumlord, like it's ridiculously hard. It's such a pain in the ass. I mean, you still have to be a piece of shit to do it, but what was that? But that is also a possibility as well. But I would have to lend out or have to lease out that property for like 400,000 for like $3,000 a month, which actually isn't that bad now that I think about it. I mean, it is. It's awful. That's fucking a ton of money to pay. But possibly lease it out for the entire property value, the property costs too. But again, shitty thing to do. That is, of course, if I was able to get the loan in the first place, which we know ain't gonna happen. So, bloop. Apris, make sure you resub. Don't forget that part. What was I gonna say? So my dream, honestly, was that if I could find an accessible piece of land for about $100,000 on it, put a $150,000 to $180,000 building on it, which, depending on what you build, could be pretty impressive, or what you get would be pretty impressive. And that way, about $250,000 to $280,000. And then I could have my property for that. Then that would be great. But I don't know if there's like really good commercial property you can get in the Sacramento area for anything under like $400,000. Thanks, Apris. What is you got? You gave me fireworks? Oh yeah, you hit your 1 year mark, Apris. It's been 1 year since you've been subscribing to the channel. Which is cool because I've only been streaming really since October of 2023. Let's go to position 3. I remember this. Remember going through all of this. Okay. Let's go price low to high. Of course, you're going to get through all the contact for pricing, contact for pricing, contact for pricing, 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 pricing. Is there a price, a minimum of 70,000 for sale? Press enter. So, property type, all properties, office, industrial, retail. Let's just look at all. Who cares? Okay. Contact for even fucking all this contact for pricing, right? There we are. Now we're starting to get in actual prices. So we got right here on Barrow Street. The lowest price I have here is 130,000, which is actually not too far away from where I'm at. Which, if I could go to Street View, which is this plot right here. So this little plot of land is $130,000. Which is actually promising. And then it just goes up from there. Like, there's just not... This one right here, this one that I looked at is 0.15 acres. So 6,000 square feet. This one is half that size for twice as much. Almost 4 times as much, actually. 3 times as much. So let's go minimum price. Excluded unpriced listings. Thank you so much. Apply. Shut up. So there is nothing here. All the way over there in that part of Sacramento. So we got this right now. It is that section of land. This is 1.1 acres. Actually, this might actually be worth it. If I had $200,000 to bid on a piece of land. See, this is more like it. 1.28 acre lot with 2 curb cuts in St. Louis, Missouri. So if I wanted to move to St. Louis, Missouri and have a really tiny or a bigger property piece than that for 1/10 of the price, and there we are. Or 1/8 of the price, actually. Actually not bad. I hate the idea of having to drive all the way out there to West Sacramento for the forge though, because that's like doubling the amount of journey for it. Here we go. Here is a $180,000 piece of property. Just close to so this is 30,000 square feet, which is 5 times bigger than that side lot. But that's just for the land piece. This would be really cool to do. Honestly, it might be a lot farther away. Well, 600,000 will buy you a ton anywhere that isn't New York or California, or Texas in most parts. Damn. Let's go to low to high here. Sale, minimum of 70,000. All these contact for pricings. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Contact for pricing. Contact for pricing. 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 Cares. It just makes me. There's that Barstow one right here. This would be good. Because then you can put like $150,000 building on it, and you'll still hit the 280,000. What could we do? Metal shop buildings, cost kits, prefab options. So here we go. We can do free prefab for 10,000. Actually, that makes it a lot better now, because, well, actually, we want metal buildings. So let's click on that. Metal buildings. So here we are, metal buildings. Why is it cheaper than the rest of them? Yeah, we could put a prefab 60 by 60 by 16 foot building for the max amount of $50,000. But that's prefab, which means that probably not considering the work on the inside of it. So that's just this right here. Prefab workshop building, metal auto. Let's do prefab buildings. Prefabricated modular homes. You got one right there. Juliet. Who cares? Okay. Luxury. Okay, we need prefabricated. Yeah, we're gonna have to do it. Garage workshops for sale, free installation. Look at that. Now it doesn't have a bathroom in it. It doesn't have insulation in it. So look at that, for a 30 by 40, that's $11,000. You know what? Now this is becoming a little bit more interesting. Because I was thinking like $180,000 for a prefab building. Look at me like trying to like, maybe I could do this. Because that reduces the cost from $280,000 to about $180,000. So $180,000 sounds good, Mom. $180,000 would be a lot less. $280,000 right there is the lowest price for that. But that's 1.1 acres of land. Because now all of a sudden, it becomes a lot more affordable. Why don't we, for example, let's look up. Orange calculator. So if we do 180,000 and we do a 10% down payment of 18,000, the interest rate I'm just going to assume is 9% because I don't, 30 years, property tax, I don't know how much it would be, who cares? Let's calculate. So that would be 1,700, which is honestly only about 300 less than I pay, or 300 more than I pay for this property, and I would be owning it, and I would own it. Dream can dream, right? No, I periodically look up my house as well, Kelver, and it is a little crazy on how much my house is worth. There they are. Yeah, this right here is literally the lowest cost property that I can find. The one next to it is literally no, this is a lot smaller. This is in downtown. No wonder it's so. Go to Street View. Probably that. Gross. I have anyways, this is getting in the way of my actual work. Not that it's going to happen anytime soon. I have another year left in this property, I believe. You know what? Why don't we look up, because that's not like I message this person very often. Yes. So, as of April 1st, 2024, I had a 2-year extension. And then as of April 1st of this year, I'll have 1 more year in this property specifically. So that really gives me about a year to start planning on what I want to do after this. Do I want to stay here at this property? Or do I want to consider my own property after that? Which is something I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to do my own property. But a lot of things have gotten in the way. So that really, truly, honestly gives me a full year to clean up the debt and the mess that I made of my business. Before I can consider, well, not a full year, but, basically this whole year, this whole rest of the year is for me to clean up the mess that I made of my business. And get new revenue streams beyond just conventions, so that I can start building up to have a better financial place at the end of this year, and maybe the last 4 months of my lease here, I can start looking at owning property. But that's kind of sucky because that's going to be quite painful. Alright. That's going to be kind of a pain because unlock me. Jesus Christ. It's going to be kind of a pain because that's 1 year from now, and the market change is always bad. It's always worse. So I'm losing a whole entire year of market blah 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 to me just waiting. But I have no other options to do it. Wowzers! There goes that Band-Aid. Hurt. So that'll be my plan. This year, I need to, you know what, actually, why don't we look up my house too? Because I have to. I'm not going to have it on screen. Yeah, house keeps going up. Which is stupid. This house is not worth that much. This house is not worth that much. It is only 906 square feet. Just the house itself. And it's worth $380,000. No need for it to be that high. That's incredibly too high for a 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom. Which I've always wanted to add another bath to this because fucking having one bath is not as good. However, yeah, when I bought this house, yeah, it was $167,000, jumped up $120,000 just in. No, $220,000. Yeah, stupid. And I bet, honestly, if we sold our house, we could sell it for $450,000, if not more, because that's how much the properties around us are starting to be sold for or bought for. Is about $450,000 to $500,000. Actually, what is that? It's a $100,000 home? This can't be right. 2-bedroom, 2-bath, bigger than our house. It is $110,000. So, I'm going to actually open this up and show you guys. This right here. 6206 Gold Dust Road. This is a $110,000 house. So this is actually very cheap for a house. Very, very cheap for a house. It is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, bigger than our house. It's literally just on the side of Roseville Road right here. So now I wonder why this is so cheap. So if we go back to our neighborhood, all the other houses around this area, moving sucks. Well, Kelver, if you truly wanted to, we would help you move. Look at this, 510,000. Why is this? What the hell? These properties? Oh, that's probably why. Because that is a mobile home. This is another mobile home. So that section over here is mobile home. So is this a mobile home? Suspiciously, all the pictures are inside. Yeah, it's a mobile home. Okay, that is why. That is why. Because these are mobile homes. Okay, that makes sense. And then I'm assuming these are mobile homes too? Oh, it's a duplex. That's why. So this right here is actually $200,000 for the home here. This is 180, 170. Yeah, it's a duplex. This is probably a duplex as well. Condo for sale. Condo. Townhouse. Townhouse. Okay, that's why they're so inexpensive. Did this one say on it home for sale? No, it did not. So, I'm not meaning for us, Kelver, because we have houses and we live where we're at. We're not going to move anytime soon, but this could be perfect for any other brother who doesn't have a house, and they could start off somewhere. Living in a mobile home is not necessarily bad. God, that hurts. Yeah, fuck, hurts. Living in a mobile home is not necessarily bad. Here we are, $94,000 right here. Definitely mobile homes now. But a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house for $80,000 is quite affordable, I think, for most people. So why don't we actually look that up really quick? This $80,000 one right here. Let's open it up. So, $1,900 a month for rent? Fuck you. Okay, this is the bitch of it, right? Look at this. 7/23/2024, listed for sale for $39,000. Somebody bought it 1 day later, and 3 months later placed it for two times plus the cost of it. 150% increase in price. So why couldn't somebody just buy the house for $39,000 and not have to deal with this fucking price gouge? So now it's double the price of what it used to be as of 1/16. It sounds like a flipper, but how do you flip a fucking mobile home? I mean, I guess you can, but boy, is that absolutely stupid. So if we go to this mortgage calculator right here, and we do $80,000 with a 10% discount, or 10% deposit, which is $8,000, if we calculate it, your mortgage payment is less than $1,000 a month. So it may not feel good to live in a mobile home, but it is definitely a really good start. What is that? This one right here? This can't be the home. This isn't a home. 2-bedroom, 2-bath home that's ready for you to enjoy. Well, we are in California. Give me the picture of the front of the house. Yeah, this is definitely a mobile home. Like a double wide mobile home. This is actually pretty fucking cool looking. I'd actually have to go to this property to look what it looks like. But this looks like a double wide mobile home with a fucking pool. Interesting. Okay. Long story short. If you are willing to live in a mobile home to start out your journey, that would be the place to go. At least nowadays. Actually, that has always been the case. It's always been the case. That's true, Kelver. Position 2. That's true, Kelver. If, after the kids move out, you could definitely downsize, and I think a lot of people, do that. After the kids move out, they don't need all that room anymore. They either move out to a smaller home in a different location, or they end up remodeling a bunch of things. Because right now, we have a 3-bedroom house. And one of the houses is what we call the cat room. It's actually more of a storage room, but the cat basically lives in there. His litter box and everything is in there, and it's his room. And then we have Apris's office, which used to be my office. Fuck me. President Sharp. Which used to be my office. So, after you start losing bedrooms, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Or instead of buying a piece of industrial land, Appers, I could literally just buy a mobile home that we can retrofit into the workshop, and there I'm spending $80,000 instead of $180,000, if more, not more. A blacked out game room would be pretty cool, honestly. I'm currently gaming on the couch, but then again, I don't play games that much anymore. I do, but not enough to warrant something like that. I don't know. But what would be cool is going to that that $130,000 plot of land, that 1.15 acres, the 6,000 square feet, seeing what is the maximum size building I can put on that, and that would be the workshop. And I could spend like $180,000 on it, and that would be the workshop. So truly, I think that would be my financial goal for the next upcoming year, is just to get myself in a good enough financial position to to not be free of debt, but to be free of the credit card debt, which is, I'm already on the way of that one, because I have the business line of credit, which is not the same as a credit card. It is for long-term payments for things. So if I can get all of my big, giant conventions onto that credit card, or not that credit card, the business line of credit, or the line of credit, let's just call it the line of credit, then I'm going to be well on my way to not have $17,000 in credit card debt. Stuff that has been paid for, and will be paid for as soon as I go through these conventions, but they won't be sitting on a credit card for fucking 6 months before I'm actually able to use them, to pay them off. Or, I take my profits from the previous shows to pay those off, and at the end of the year, that's truly how much money I made by the end of the year. And I don't like that business model. So, I have the business line of credit, and that guy right there is going to be hauling all of the big costs, or long-term costs, for the year. So I charge convention costs to it, not like dice costs. The dice costs would be on my normal business card. And the dice costs would be on my normal business costs, that, I'll pay out within a month or so. And that truly would free up a lot of credit card movement, so that I will have, in essence, a better credit score, a better look of my business. Start covering it up. A better look in my business, so that when I do look for the $180,000 loan, $200,000 loan for a property in a year's time, then I'll be in a lot better position, which I'm already right now actively working on. It takes time, like everything else. So who knows, maybe by mid-year of next year, I'll have my own property. Who knows? I have my own workshop property. I already have my own mortgage property. Because Apris and I were talking a while back about, we would probably be doing a lot better right now if we didn't have the workshop. But then, would we be in the position that we're in if we didn't have the workshop? And the answer is no, we would not be. So, regardless of being in a worse position, it's been able to enable us to be in a better position. So I wouldn't change out having the workshop for the world, or I wouldn't change my decision on how we went about this whole thing. But, so that's, yeah. Look at that. Look at this. Whole entire fucking thing again. Forbidden Gushers. I'm gonna go use the restroom really quick, guys. When I come back, we're gonna do my social media post for the day, which I'm super late for. And then we'll make another set of dice, which is gonna be non-liquid cores. I think we're gonna do maybe like a green copper one or a green gold one, or we'll see how that is. And then we'll get into working on these guys. So give me just a minute. I need to use the restroom. So I'll be right back. Bye bye. Likely banned evader. Whew, okay. Before I do that, though, let's go to Google. All business grants can help fund business needs like marketing, hiring, product development. Some grants are for women-owned business. All this sort of business is an element. National Association of the Self-Employed Growth Grant allows FedEx Small Business Grant, 50,000 grand pies and 9 startups owned. Ooh, that's hot. Oh, do you have to fucking pay? Oh, isn't you girl? One of these days, right? Anyways. Anyways. Okay. So, these guys here. Oh, I should probably do my social media. There we go. Clear that out. Let's do the gold one this time. And I'm going to do the two big ones. Let's look at Restream. Let's look at this, Viewstream. Let's click on that. Let's see if anything's cool going on in there. Nope. I don't care. Probably should press the button, right? Let's do my social media posting for today. YouTube. So my social media has been doing weird stuff lately. In terms of like, I'll post something and then it won't like take off for like 24 to 48 hours, and then I check my social media randomly and it has like 2,000 views. It's like, okay, where did this come from? But I'll take whatever I can get. Sound. Sound shit. Next. Sounds solid. Yep. There's that.
Dice sounds incoming.
video. There you are. So, for example, the dice cleaning video I did for the first 24 hours got like 30 views, and then I checked it when I woke up, and it's at almost 1,500. So it's like, what's going on? So it's like, what's going on? Upload short. And then, like, on my YouTube, I got like 14 views on it, so it's wildly inconsistent. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Instagram.
Sounds incoming.
Turn it all the way down. God damn it. Alright. Hashtags. social media's been posted. It's time to make another set of dice. Before I do want to really quick. I think it's Spitfire or Crossfire or some fire. Your systems is only CNC products. So Fusion 360, Crossfire. That's what we're looking for. Cool. Okay, easy enough. All right, guys, let's bring out the next thing we gotta do. Sideways, just completely. Woo! Woo! All right. That's it. That easy. All right. Perfect. Easy to come off. Good. Good. In the neighborhood. Okay, so we are making solid sets of dice now. Those solid sets of dice are going to not require us to make D20s. So let's scoot this over here. Get you right there. This is boom, boom. These two are not needed anymore. Boom, 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 boom. 6 sets of dice. So what I would like to do, I need to write this down. So let's do that. So I'm going to grab my marker here. Position 3. Track me. Look at that. So now I'm going to write up here because I keep forgetting to do this. I really need something to be like, yeah, hold this right there. I need for 6 LC sets and 10 LC 1D. I need 140A plus 1D. So, what is that? That is for 6 liquid core sets and 10 liquid core D20s. I need 140 grams of A and 120 grams of B. So I'm not forgetting that. So I'll have to whatever for it. And what I'm going to be doing right now is for 6 standard sets. All right. Is equal to what? I'm not sure because I keep forgetting what my ratios are when it comes to this. So for the 6 standard sets, it's, I don't know how much. I'm going to start with 140 and 120 and see where that gets me because we're doing 2 less molds and this 3 less molds. Position 2. So there we are. So the good news is in this particular scenario, I don't need to do any prep work. So I don't need to make cores. I don't have to do a whole bunch of stuff. All I have to do is get my 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My 6 rubber bands here, and then gloves on, and then mixing time. So what I'm going to do today is we're going to make green and copper, I think. Or no, green and silver. We're going to make... What did I make? Shit. Whatever. Let's make purple and gold. And see what happens from there. So... we're going to make purple and gold dice, and then we're going to fill up all of the molds as much as we can until this last one. This one here is the weird mold out of all of them. And then we'll see how many molds we fill. If we fill all of them, that's great, grand, wonderful. If we don't, then we adjust the 40-20. The 140-120 up there. So... let's add the part A first, which is going to be 140. We got 145, which means we need to add a little bit more. Then we're going to go grab our gold leaf right here, and we're going to go to our resin colors, which is this one. So as I mentioned before, we're going to do some gold and purple. So let's find all of my purples. Magentas, about as purple as I'm going to get. Black. Fuchsia, that's a little pink for me. It looks like that's all I got. So do we want fuchsia or magenta? Fuchsia I think is more blue, magenta is more red. Let's see what this looks like. Hasn't even popped. That's how often I use this. I like this color. Oh, one too many. It's fine. So let's just kind of mix up this color and this goo. Also aerates it a little bit too, makes it easier to mold, to mix. I should have done this in the other one. Getting that color so far. I'm doing a purple and gold. Alright, so that's the purple we're getting. So we're going to tear this off. We're going to add part 2. We need 123 or something like that. 120 something. Go with that. Let's mix this stuff up, get a good color what we're doing. And our very favorite super sparkly in there. Mix them up. So this is the magenta that we have so far. When this came out, this needs you. Probably a little bit more from magenta. A little bit darker, a lot bit darker actually. Mix it this much. There we go. That's more what I'm looking for. I like that color. It's definitely a good... Damn it. I think this would be a good color just by itself. Look at that. It's a nice color. Like that. Not as dark as I want to, but that's what happens when you pick more of the red purple than the blue purple. But it'll lighten up a little bit more. So I think this is good. That's a good fuchsia. Think. Okay, now we want to add the gold flake. And this is kind of the pain part because you can't just add a fucking wad in there and call it a day. You have to sprinkle it out a little bit. Let's mix this up. Got some gold. There. I think that might actually be enough. Maybe I just a tad bit too much to it. But that's what we get. So I've come to find that you want to make sure you mix the resin thoroughly first before you add the gold flake to it, because if you don't do that, then the gold flake will trap in little pockets of the unmixed in resin, and then you'll get some weird looking dice with it. Alright, here we go. Yeah, that's basically it. Just traps little pieces in it. And it is not, it's no bueno, no bueno. There. All right, number one. Scrape a little bit to get this off. So while I am doing this, and doing the resin parts here, Apris and I, we watched Rocky last night. The original Rocky, which I did not realize won Best Picture for 1977. So it was the Best Picture Oscar winner for 1977. And for the most part, it holds up very well. I think I very much enjoyed the movie. And I really like how, you know, I think one of the main themes of that movie was like the underdog training their heart out to beat the overdog, and the overdog just kind of not taking anything seriously, which is, I think, what was going on. Rocky, who was just kind of out of shape, like thug or whatever, was just serendipitously given a chance to fight the heavyweight champion of the world. And he took it seriously. I don't remember watching this movie all the way through in any other time in my life. But he took it seriously. And he hit the books, quote unquote, and ended up almost beating a Apollo Creed. I think. Anyways, we'll get into that in a second, Apris. So it's definitely truly an underdog story fighting against the established order, which I very much appreciate that kind of movie. And while watching it, usually when I'm watching these Oscar movies or whatever, I'll have to check like how much movie do we have left of this. And with Rocky, I didn't have to do that. It actually was entertaining almost all the way through. Entertaining almost all the way through. Did it deserve its Oscar? I don't think so. I don't think so. For two very glaring reasons. Three. Well, it was up against Taxi for that year. And that, from what I remember, is also a really great movie. Again, something I probably should put on my list to rewatch to make sure I'm not just sticking my foot in my mouth. But was also a great movie. But the script, the characters, the situations in there was definitely written by Stallone. And you could tell very easily. The struggle is real. The falling out of graces is real. But like the acting in some of the cases and in the script and the story itself is very dumb. Stallone's writing, I think that's actually a really good way of putting it. It was rough. Stallone's writing was rough. And you could tell that it was. So it definitely missed a lot in the script department. It definitely missed a lot in the acting department. So I don't think that it deserved its Oscar. I really don't think it did. But I was holding out on one thing that I wasn't going to talk about till just at the very end. And there was a scene in there that was so ridiculously cringy that I literally could not watch it. And it was the dating scene between Adrian and Rocky. It was so cringy. I literally could not watch it. I could not. Why? Because it was so poorly written, so poorly acted out, that like it just seemed like you're watching an alien's attempt at trying to understand how we as humans romance each other. It was absolutely awful. Like painfully awful. Where Rocky literally just ignored everything that she said, everything that she said no to, very barely ever initiated or had a conversation with her. It was literally just him talking at her for like 10 minutes. And very clearly, this woman was not into this. And she had said it several times that she was not into this. He showed up unannounced. Adrian's brother did that, so it wasn't really his fault. During Thanksgiving, had a really cringy altercation with her brother and Adrian. And then just like, okay, well, after all that traumatic experience, that abuse and assault, okay, we're gonna go out now. With her literally saying no. Like the entire time. No, I don't want to do this. I can't do this. I don't want to 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 do this. Eventually, she gets coerced into going. They go to an ice rink where Stallone has basically a one-sided conversation with himself. And then, God damn it. Scratching something there. And then they end up going to Stallone's home. Just like his home, where she said no, like no less than 3-4 times to go into his house. He would not walk her home, wouldn't take her anywhere, only into his house. Finally, she gets coerced into going into the house, goes upstairs, goes into his house. Stallone locks the door on her, and she is so visibly uncomfortable, so visibly distraught that she has never been alone in another man's house, barely knows this dude. Like, he is trying to have a one-sided conversation with what's going on, and she very clearly is uncomfortable and distressed. She keeps telling him, no, I want to leave, I gotta leave. And he's like, well, why don't you want to be with me? I'm not a creep. Very clearly acting like a fucking creep to this woman. And she asks him if he has a phone. And he says, oh, no, I don't have a phone. Too many distractions, whatever. And she's like, I have to call my brother to tell him where I'm at. Why do you want to do that? Because I want to make him know that I am here and I am safe. And he's like, okay, I'll do that. So he opens the window, shouts out to the brother, which probably is not even in shouting distance, closes the window and just, yeah, everything's all good and dandy. No, it was so hard, so cringy. And then, like, she refuses to go into the house any further. He walks up to her, and, like, she starts getting shaken up. She starts getting more upset. And what does he do? Not like, okay, I'll take you home. I'm sorry, I didn't realize this was making you uncomfortable. He assaults her. He sexually assaults her. And basically forces her to kiss him. And then apparently she's into it. Or whatever. Or maybe she's doing it as self-preservation. And then they kiss and then they fall to the ground and that's the end of the scene. It was hard. This section of the movie is what they cut out when they're trying to make this feature-length, 2-hour length movie into a length that's good for TV. They cut out that scene. I've never in my life seen that scene. It made me so ridiculously uncomfortable that I do not even understand what was going on. Was this Stallone's attempt at, like, this is what romance was? In the 70s, is this what Riz was? Like, just very clearly keep forcing yourself upon a woman who's clearly not into this. And yes, granted, she's not into it because she's shy and she doesn't blah, 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 blah. And it just takes a man like Stallone to bring her out of her shell. And, like, it was hard to watch. It was awful. I had to get up from watching the movie and distract myself with doing the dishes or something. Or anything other than watching Stallone literally fumble with a scene, with writing, with acting, and making it so ridiculously uncomfortable for everybody that there had to be something wrong mentally with Rocky Balboa. There had to have been. Whether he was somewhere on the spectrum or something, there had to be, and it just made it real fucking weird and uncomfortable. And for that scene alone, pulled me from giving Rocky, the original Rocky, an 8 out of 10, pushed it down to a 6 out of 10. Like, that was such a strongly cringy scene. And it was a large part of the movie. It was probably like 20 minutes of the movie where Stallone gets invited over for Thanksgiving by her brother all the way until they end the romance scene. It was like 20 minutes long. It was so hard to watch. And then the next scene that Adrian and Rocky are in, it's like they've been dating for years now. It's like they've been dating for years now. Like, they're just sitting on the couch watching TV. It was the boxing commissioner section where Rocky was talking about, boxing Apollo Creed or whatever. But she's like sitting on him, hanging on him, right next to him, rubbing on him, touching on him. That's cool. That's great. I just kind of wish it didn't start off with that heavily implied assault, explicit assault scene, where she clearly didn't want any of that. If they would have made this movie where they were already kind of off and on dating already, and then it took more serious now that Rocky is like trying to be serious because she wants to support him, whatever. If they would cut out that scene completely, and placed it with, this is our 1 month anniversary, this is our 2 month anniversary, and they just like going out and dating and stuff like that and doing it like that, that would have made this movie 20% better. 20% better than this scene. And if you guys think that I am overly like playing it, go and watch that scene again. Go and watch that scene with 2025 eyes. And you will see that that scene, the four scenes that were a part of that section of that movie is so ridiculously cringy that you wouldn't want your sister in that situation. You wouldn't want to put a single woman in that situation. Like, it was so bad. So bad. And it dragged down the movie by 2 points in my mind. So, without that scene, it would have been an 8 out of 10 movie. The writing could have been better. The acting could have been a little bit better. And they took what in essence is the bro code and they stretched it to that far limit. Like at that very far limit. And it was uncomfortable in that way too. But it would have been an 8 out of 10 movie without that section. Now, I did mention the bro code part of it. The bro code part of it, there's a code with bros. Like you kind of play off a certain amount of bullshit that your friend does. You play off a certain amount of bullshit. Whether they blow you off because they're dating a woman, or like they do something that's not in your best interest, and they kind of seems like you're at odds. You kind of blow that off a little bit, and you guys are still friends, and you do the thing, and whatever. That's kind of the bro code, right? You don't meet a friend of yours for 6 months, and like you see him in the street. Now you guys are friends again. Like, that's just the bro code. That does not extend to be threatened with a baseball bat in somebody's home, and like the next scene you guys are like buddies, and you guys are all cool and everything. Like that's not the same, right? So they kind of abuse the bro code a little bit there. But I do not think, because of that scene, because of the acting and the writing, it did not deserve its Oscar. But it got it, and that's fine and dandy and whatever. But I want a recut of that movie and literally just remove that one scene. They can even keep the awkward, like, oh, I'm telling you jokes and trying to flirt with you, that only an alien would think that humans do that. In that manner, they can keep that, and then all of a sudden they're dating. Like, that's cool. Just cut out that 20-minute scene of him literally, like, assaulting her, coercing her, and forcing her into situations that she doesn't want to be in. And how I can sit here and say that it feels like he is coercing her is because she is a shy, almost 30-something-year-old that is literally is not capable of defending herself. That's literally the of what they point out Adrian to be. Rocky being a boxer, a thug, somebody who is in a criminal organization that literally breaks people's thumbs for a living outside of boxing, that's coerced. That's literally coerced. I would feel in Adrian's position that if I said no to him and I literally meant no to him, then he would punch me or he would hurt me or something would happen that I wouldn't want to be a part of. And he doesn't take no for an answer. Her brother, who is clearly also on the spectrum, wouldn't take no for an answer. So she was not in a situation that she was in control of in that whole entire time. So, Rocky, the original Rocky, 6 out of 10. Did not deserve its Oscar. 8 out of 10 if you cut out that 20-minute scene. and they're just like being awkward around each other, and then all of a sudden they're dating. That would have made a better movie. Or even better, they would have been dating for like a couple of months even before the start of the movie's events. So they would cut out that whole assault and coercion section of the movie. It was hard to watch. But outside of that, it was a good movie. It was a very good movie. I'll be right back, guys. I'm going to inflate this tank. Okay, so what I found out, position 3, and Lock Me, whatever, I don't give a shit. So we actually need 175 to 150, not 120. 175 and 150 plus. So we were just, oh God. We were just a little short of that. And what I can do, so we were just a little short of filling up all the molds. We had 5 more dice to go. Adding a whole nother 65 grams to it is probably going to be overkill, but that's what this guy's for. Is that we can use this guy and fill him up full of the rest, and then every couple of days we fill it up full of the rest, so that we have like a 2-toned D20 or whatever. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to go grab. Oh wait, before I do that. Make sure we wipe down the section here. Not getting any resin on us. All right. Let's cut this off. Position 2. You guys don't believe me how bad that scene was. Go and watch it again. It is the scene where it starts where Stallone and his buddy are going to his house for Thanksgiving, and ends in the obvious where it ended. Go and watch it again. You don't think it was that bad. It was painful. Alright. We're good to go. Alright, so whoop. Here's all the dice that we need to cut today. And technically we could sand all these today. Reminds me of? This reminds me of the circus animal crackers. The pink and white sprinkle ones. Yeah, you can do that. I've seen people do it before. Adding sprinkles inside of resin. Go here. I'm gonna go here. Repairs on this side. You're so cute. Repair. Repair, repair, repair. Be prepared. Oops. Okay, so tomorrow I won't have any dice work to do because we currently have that set of dice over there being done or being cured, and then these guys will be in the sander or the polishers or however we want to do that. So I won't have any dice stuff to do, but I think tomorrow is the day that I'm going to start sorting out my dice buckets so I can have a good idea of what I actually do have. And I can start putting the dice that I do have in locations. And that gives me still enough time in case I need to order something that I, in fact, am missing. Through my boxes.
could also make that mold tomorrow that I've been wanting to do for the bottom of those towers that got tore off. I think that's what I'll do. 'Cause that's $300 worth of towers that currently don't have a bottom on them. That I need to do that for. And I don't remember when's the last time I made dice this pink. And it's kind of foggy too because that's how my dice are in my master, or my masters are in the molds. So it's a little foggy, but when you get it in the polisher and it polishes straight up, like that's how you know those are like really, really solid dice. So they're going to look more like this in the end, where they look like this right now. Where I can definitely cut myself, which I'm trying very hard not to. This guy. Whew. There we go. Those are the riskiest ones, the hardest ones to do. Bloop, bloop. Whew. A lot to cut through. You know, I was thinking about. I see online all the time people using squish molds for their dice. Putting myself in. And they bring really beautiful dice right out of the mold. That just leads me to believe that I've been making either the molds or the process wrong this entire time. And I think that if I want to start selling retail, like in-person retail, I need to master squish molds. And because I've been having huge problems with them. And I think the main reason why I'm having a problem with them is I've done that type of mold before. Yes, I have. I made them before, and I can't get them going good. And I think it's because the way that I stack them in the molds here, or in the pressure pots down here, I'm putting too much weight on them. And they're squeezing it and making them oblong. What I'm thinking instead is, what if I make squish molds and then I sandwich them in plates of glass? So like, say for example this guy, if this was a 2-part squish mold, I would put a plate of glass up here, plate of glass right here, and then I rubber band that down on here. That way if I set anything on top of it, it's pressing down evenly across the whole mold and not just like in that center right there. So if I put more weight on this, it's going to press it down in the center. It's going to curve it like that. It's going to squish the dice in the center. It's going to morph the molds on this side. So if I had a plate of glass on both of these sides and I set this on top, it would evenly press down the glass on the whole mold. And I would choose glass because I was thinking about polycarbonate, but that would stick really easily to the resin, and with the glass I can scrape it off. So I'm thinking that if I were to do squish molds, I would make them myself because I'm fine with making them. I just need to have the slats of glass in order to do it. So if I'm making six molds or 10 or 9 molds, I only need 18 slats of glass, which is actually not that expensive. For example, I should have a measuring device here. I don't. I put them all away. Oh, I put them all away for the first time in my life. Yep, I'm not gonna get time. So if I were to get a glass slat for the molds that I make, so I would need 2 by 7.5. 2 inches by 7.5 glass plate, which probably is not very expensive at all. So why don't we go to desktop really quick, click on this, and then we're gonna look up 2 by 7.5 inch glass plate. Glass. Let's just take a plate. Oh, that's coolers. Sheet. 1/8 of an inch would be good. Into the longest dimension here, 8 inches. Sorry. 7.5. 3 inches, I guess, is the smallest you can be. Done. So that's $45. Okay. But how for just one, $23 for just one. So if I need 11 plus, let's add that to cart. Whatever, who cares? Okay. Amazon's maybe not able to get that. I'd have to look it up, do a little bit more research, because I thought it was just going to be that simple to do it. But yeah, just find glass sheets. I could clean off the glass pretty easy too. I also need to probably work on better masters too, because I'm seeing some undesirable marks on my dice that I would like to fix. Just chopping up dice, sucking down the soul. Popping. Soul. Sucking on it. Souls. Yeah, I think after this week, regardless of what happens, I'm going to throw away those molds. Because this is just too much. My D12s are starting to look rough too. I've done that before. Like, before a big show, I would throw away my molds so that I have to remake them before I can work on any other dice. Which only takes a couple of days of work. Not even that hard. Fuck, you know what? I want to see, does Uline have something like that? It should be about every 6 months, honestly. This is my first thought. Plexiglass sheets, dry erase. You know what? Now that I think about it, let's. We're gonna use those real quick. Okay, so slab wall glass. What I'm looking for. We're gonna go up here. So is that sold per sheet? Yeah! Oh, that's really expensive. Why don't we go back to the glass really quick? Lab wall glass. That's crazy. Where the plexiglass is very expensive. The glass is not very expensive. That's weird. Okay, anyways. Two-sided ultra-wide tempered glass won't go or stain. Digitized magnetic writing surface. That's very expensive. We don't care. Strapping tape. Uline doesn't have it. But it'd be cool if they did. Okay. Oops, I should probably go click on that. It should be about a 6-month refresh between all the molds, but I've been holding back on those refreshes. It shouldn't be. And actually, some of these molds that I'm using are even older than what the other ones are. Like, I remade probably 3 or so molds, and then I got inundated with shows. So some of these are actually quite a bit older than the 6-month mark or even the year mark. Probably why they're degrading in the way that they are. Fucking on. Stepping on it. Also stepping on it. So. That's the right one. That. Oh wait, yeah, Apris, you're saying stuff. Yeah, I'm adding some things to my buy list for the wax melts, like those things I talked about with the see-through tops, and then working with you to process more molds after the first couple of shows. Yes. So, I had forgotten where we left off on those molds. That you liked the mold type that we were doing, or if you wanted to see the other type. Yeah, I'd shop around. Uline is great, but again, the shipping is just so expensive for Uline. I don't know if I've just been spoiled by Amazon or whatever, but like, it's expensive. But Appers, I don't remember where we left off on the molds. If you were okay with what we had, or did you want to try out the half molds? I'm sorry. I don't remember where we left off with the molds. Whether you were okay with the ones that we had, or if you wanted the half ones, or you wanted the one with the actual set of dice. Yes, I remember now. Okay, I remember now. I can actually do that. No, let's wait till after. Let's wait till after Seattle for that, because I do want to buy a whole entire new thing of mold material. The last mold material I have left here, I actually want to use for my towers. So, yeah, I agree, Appers. So let's wait till after Seattle. I'll buy a whole new bucket of mold material then. And we'll go from that. Need to use restroom real quick. When I come back, I'm going to repair those ones in the center. I think ramping up your wax melts is a great idea. I honestly do. I think that's a fantastic idea. Because I think when people know about your wax melts, they sell. They buy them. But I think it's just the containers they were in and the way that we were placing them really wasn't the best in terms of what we could do for it. Man, all these guys. Okay. Hey, look at that pink. Good. Good. That's fantastic, actually. Actually going to get up here really quick. I need water. Right back. Ingredient front. Costs a lot, won't have to buy my own. Yeah, because you're buying a ton of it. Unfortunately, they don't come in smaller bins or smaller amounts. So you do have to cost a lot, but you'll be able to make a ton out of it, which is good. Because that's really no different from having to buy. The thing, it's no different from buying like 10 or 12 lip balms at a time anyways. I'm tired of too long, so it's time to take them off. In. Another to-do list. To do, to get, to whatever. Oh, that's another thing. So price guide. There, now we have enough. We have 4 items on our to-do list. 3 items on our to-do list for now. That's a problem. Right. The goal wasn't to go as cheap as possible. The goal was find a cheap alternative to um, what we've been spending for those containers. What you spent for those containers. Speaking of, this is down here today, right now. There it is. Oh wow, look at this. Oh, this is really cool. Oh, that's a nice ass lip balm. Yeah. This is a sweet orange vanilla bean. You didn't want to do the plastic containers, you wanted to do the postable ones. So, it's worth the effort. It's worth it for you, which means it's worth it for me. Alright. All repaired. Alright. I don't want to work anymore today. Because the next step is literally, I gotta sand all these guys, and literally my hand's just not into it today. So, like I said before, tomorrow I'm gonna work on these guys. I'm gonna work on the molds for my towers, and then I'm gonna start taking apart the dice boxes that I have to see what I need to put in what. So that's a good job for tomorrow. I just, or even tonight, go to the forge tonight, start preparing that stuff. I think that's probably what I'll do. Put those guys away because I won't need them for a while. Actually, it's a good idea. Let's toss these guys. Just wow. And I promise you, 250. Okay, cool. So these guys are all repaired. I'm good for today. For those guys, got that right there. No, Senshi Girl, we're not leaving for the day. Let's move these all over here. Get them out of the way. I'll send these guys tomorrow. Take my schedule off a little bit. We should be fine. So, in the meantime, I play instead. You know what? Now that I think about it, there's nothing really I want to play. Yeah, I'm looking at this and I'm like, eh. Not really. Terraria, the board game. Yes, we are sanding today. I couldn't think of something. I don't want to sit there and just waste a ton of time. So here we are. First we're going to do is this guy. Yeah. We cleaned him out a little bit. Maybe put a little bit extra in him just for safety's sake. Yeah, sanding it is. It's better than not doing anything. I won't get all through all these dice today. At all. That should be plenty enough. But I'll probably get through like the D20s or enough to fill this guy here. Awesome. Let's pull all the D20s out. Especially those two. We'll have 6 of each. I'm so sorry, Senchu. I didn't mean to hit you on accident. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's gonna go up here. White ones. 1, 2, 6. There is the pink ones too. Perfect. So all these guys. Gonna be right here. Alright, let's get my headphones on so we can have the music pass my day. Before we get too deep into this, let's see how my social media. It's okay. 20 views, gosh. Yeah, YouTube is. Click on the wrong one. God damn it. That. YouTube Studio. That's 77 views. Doing better than yesterday. Alright guys, let's do this. Let's sand these dice. Start off with these guys here. I would say prep 40 to 50. Let's be positive in our assumption of what we're going to be doing. I think 40 to 50 would be a really good start. Because not everybody who buys a candle from you gets a bag, but everyone who buys a big candle or more gets a bag for it. You know, now that I realize that this music is super highly copyrighted, so I'm going to lose a lot of... I'm not going to be able... Oh, fuck. YouTube's going to be like, all of this music is going to be muted on your stream, or Twitch. Not that I do my VODs anyways. I think that's a great idea. I had somebody message on one of my on one of my social medias on YouTube, the one that I posted today. He said that I'm glad that you keep the edges sharp so you don't ruin the RNG. And while I appreciate that, wait, hold on a second. God damn it, you're gonna be in the fucking way this entire time, aren't you? This should actually be over here. While I appreciate the sentiment, I'm not 100% sure how having sharp edges or soft edges is going to change the RNG of a die. It can definitely change how it feels to roll, as unsharp edges tend to run to roll more. Oh good, YouTube didn't yell at you today. So I just told him sharp edge is the only way to go. I guarantee you, though, that Twitch is going to yell at me for the music that I was playing earlier. But I don't care. I don't really post the VODs anyways. Yeah. Because we haven't done orders in a while. I have to dust out my printer too, because I might have to print out labels from my bags. I have so many labels. Welcome back, Mom. I was gonna start playing some games, but then nothing sounded good, so here I am actually working. To give you guys the state of Barony, because that was the last thing that I was hyper fixated on. I beat it a couple of times with a couple of different classes. The Barbarian and the Healer, I believe. But so the hold of it is a lot less than it used to be. So now Apris and I are kind of just playing it a little bit. And now, all that's left for me in that game specifically is to gain a better mastery over it. If I wanted to. So, like, play with traps on, play with hunger on, a bunch of other settings, higher difficulty, harder classes. And honestly, that's not really why I play a game. It's far, far better at the game than I used to be, though. Especially when I first started playing it. I love the little printer too. You know, I never thought I was going to meet the day where it felt more desirable to me to sand dice than it was to play games. I just feel that there's a lot more value in doing this right now. Well, I gotta make the time today. Not today. Wednesday. Yeah, I gotta film for my next Forge Compendium video. Sometimes it is like that. I just see that there is a lot of value in sanding dice right now. I need to make time for the Forge Compendium video. Probably Wednesday. Because I have one more posting this weekend, but then I'll be completely, like, not caught up anymore. I won't be ahead anymore if I don't do that today or do this week. So I need to get on that this week. So tomorrow will be sending the rest of these dice because I'm just doing these D20s today. Making a mold for the bottom of those dice, or the bottom for those dice towers. And then going through those dice boxes. So that'll be the 3 things I do tomorrow. I was also thinking about maybe dropping the price of my D20s. So dropping them by like $5, so my liquid course would be 25 instead of 30. Just to move them a lot faster. Because they should be like definitely like a bread and butter small sale for my booth, but that's been replaced with the metal dice sets. So now I have the conundrum: pick a metal dice set for 30 or have one of these for 30. And while I think that these guys are way cooler in terms of well, everything really, that's a difficult decision for some people to make. To be like, oh, could I have a full set of dice or a single D20 for the price of 30? So what I could do is set these to 25 and have their discounted price to be 20, and then so that now they're deciding, do they want a $30 set or a $25 D20? Alright, that's all for this. That's plenty of room to roll around in there. Polish the beads in there. Wait, maybe they already are 25. Hold on, am I just an idiot? A second, I don't think this was heavy enough to start spinning, so I should be heavy enough now. Maybe I do have them for 25 already. It's been a while since I've sold them. Let me look at my price guides. Because now that you say it like that, I was like, I'm pretty sure they're not 30 already. No, they're not. They're 25 each. Yeah, they were 25 each. Because I remember with your candles, because I keep saying, oh, it's a $25 dice with a $5 candle. So your candles are 30, so it's 25. No, maybe, but anyways, maybe I drop it to 20 and see how those go. There's something wrong with this. Let me go grab a screwdriver real quick. Position 2. Which is still a great deal, yes. God damn it. That could be a part of it. So then I would have to reprice or keep my steel cores probably the same price because the steel cores are pretty cool how they are. So maybe all of my D20s to be $20 instead of the 2025 one. Maybe that would be a better idea. Inside here. So this one is good with the turn. This one is literally not. So we are good with this so far. This is still pretty tight on here. So we're turning this fine. Let's leave this open because I don't care that much. I would suggest maybe not lowering him because you're still buying a product with the crystal and that dice. I would not lower your prices at all. I wonder if that right there is enough to free it. Let's take this guy. Oops. That definitely cleaned it up. Stop. Let me know with it. Okay. Let's try that. I don't know if it changed very much with it. Okay, come on. Don't forget that. Huh. Let me see how many steel cores I got. That might be the focus of what I make after I come back from Seattle. Okay, this should turn a lot easier now. Let's loosen this up just slightly so it has a little more room if it needs it. So a little bit more. There, we actually have a little bit of room there. Okay. Let me check how this is going, guys. Give me a second. I might have a lot of steel cores. I may not. I'll have to see. There, fixed it. All right. All that gross was inside that machine. All right. Toss this away because we don't need them anymore. I fixed the machine. It's spinning freely now. We're all good to go. Position 3. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to get more. I'll have to do more. Let me find out tomorrow, because that's when I'm going to do all of that stuff. So, yeah. That's pretty much it for me today. Check my email really quick to see if anything interesting has come up. Nope, not at all. Just have to pay for VidCon, my Real ID thing, which is going to come up here in the next 1 week. Yeah, I might be a little late for streaming next Monday because I will be doing my, if I'm even streaming that Monday, because that's the day I have to pack up. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna head home. I'm all done for today. I only streamed for a little less than 4 hours today, wherever the hell my thing is. Oh, it's right there. Tomorrow's gonna be, it's already 4. Yeah, time flies. I'm going to come back tomorrow, probably, maybe on time, maybe. We'll see. I have a lot of stuff to do. But